A South African teacher has been released after being kidnapped in Yemen last May. Her kidnappers are still holding her husband after months of negotiations by Gift of the Givers. Founder Imtiaz Suleiman is with us this evening. Dr. Suleiman, thanks very much for coming in. You must be relieved that at least part of these negotiations are over.
Very much so, for two reasons. One, we've got Yolandi out at no cost. Secondly, my office representative, he himself is safe. Remember, the media has been saying these are suspected links to Al-Qaeda. There's maybe some type of kidnapping group. This is not suspect. This is Al-Qaeda pure 100%. And he went into that area himself unarmed, nobody supporting him. He went because of a conviction to try to negotiate to get Yolandi out, and he did it.
I think perhaps to us the scale of this is something that's only going to hit home in a while, because it's taken you months to do this, to win the trust of tribal elders and the like, before he actually made his way to the core group of four kidnappers who took them. I mean, what has that been like, that journey? What has that been like for your Yemeni negotiator?
We thought we were going nowhere. From May, it was hit and run. He used to go to different provinces, give his name, give his phone number, and say, speak to the clans, speak to the elders. And we had lots of bogus people coming forward, saying, if you give us some money, we can show you where to find them. And he knows the game because he's from the country. So he said he didn't trust anybody. So many people said, I've negotiated for this one, I've done for that one. And he cross-checked everything. And he says, you know what, we have to do this ourselves. So he went all over, giving his name and number. Nobody called him. Eventually on Monday, Al-Qaeda themselves called him in the morning and said, we want to talk to you. It's about about the Corkies. They didn't say South Africa, they said about the Corkies. And Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock, be at a certain place. You have to take a plane, then take a car, drive to a certain point and meet these people. And the first thing they said is, they're Americans. So he said, they're not Americans. He said, but they're white skinned. So he said, yes, they're white skinned, but they're from Africa. So he had to, in Arabic language, he had to show them that these are not Americans, because Americans are regarded as an enemy to the state and to them. So that was a big hurdle he had to cross and clear. And then after he said it, discussed, they still wanted a ransom. They said $2 million. And then they said, no, we don't pay money. We just doing it on behalf of the family because they've got nobody. So he explained to them that we don't pay money. And then they said, okay. He said, started discussing, how about let's take the lady first. And he said, look, he took all the projects that we've done in Yemen. He said, look at the women, look at the children. We've done this. They've done this for our people. So let's be rational about this. So they started listening. And he kept on rubbing it in. We've done this in Yemen, we've done this in Yemen. And he told them, the $2 million that you're asking for, the South Africans have done more than that amount for our people in this country already. So they listened even more. And then they said, okay, we shall discuss Yolandi. And by the end of the day, they said, we can consider releasing her without any ransom.
Now that they have done that, what sort of emotional and physical state is she in, Dr. Suleiman?
All I can tell you is from the words of my office manager, Anas Al-Hamati. He said, doctor, I can't talk to her. She just got into the car. She said, help me free my husband, Pierre. And she's been sobbing ever since. And he said she can't speak one word. She just cries all the time. He said she's lost weight. She's stressed. She's in distress. She's got all kinds of issues. Then I said, okay, let her cry out. It's fine. Take her to the hotel, get her a room, let her relax. He took her, got her a room. He said she had a bath. He bought clothes for her, sent to her to the room. And he said she had a good sleep. A few minutes ago, before I came to the station, he said, look, she's much calmer now. Her sons have spoken to her. She's thinking a little clearer. She feels more secure and she feels more safe at this moment of time.
But yet you've still got this very worrying aspect, which is the fact that the kidnappers are still demanding a multi-million-dollar ransom for her husband, and they want that within 8 days, I understand.
Well, the problem is they put this weight onto her. They said, lady, you are leaving. Your husband's life is in your hands. And we want $3 million, and we've got 8 days to find the money.
How will they find that money, Dr. Suleiman? Our government certainly won't provide it. The Corkies don't have those resources, do they?
I don't want to say it's a losing battle. We've got some other ideas up our sleeves, and we want to exhaust those things. We want to first extend the time for 8 days. We've got some things to tell them. Because the dialogue, what I must say, in the 4 days, I told Anas, focus on building dialogue with them, building trust with them, speak of common purpose, speak about humanitarian work, speak on things they understand. And that's exactly what he did for 4 days. And when you don't like something, be frank and tell him, I don't like it. Let them understand that you're not saying things for the sake of saying it. If you don't like something, they must understand that you're honest. You are not scared to say something to please them. And they respected that. And they kept on, they actually invited him for breakfast in one of the houses. And they traveled, Al-Qaeda core group traveled with him in different parts of the country because they now trust him. So based on that trust and what we've done, we can now use that as leverage to try to see what can be done to try to get the husband out. It's not going to be easy.
Well, we wish you the best of luck with that. Continue with your good work. Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, thank you very much for coming in to talk to us.
Know more about your world.
enca.com